TYT Sports, Jason Rubin here with Drew Carter back in the TYT Sports studio. Great to have you back. Awesome. So, Florida State University PR department, not the smartest that we've seen in the college football offseason. The hashtag Ask Jameis Twitter campaign, where you were allowed to send in your tweets and ask Heisman Trophy winner Jameis Winston whatever you wanted, pretty much backfired as bad as it possibly could have.
Pretty bad.
Jameis Winston in the offseason, really earlier this summer, was cited for stealing $32 in crab legs. Okay, more on that later. And he investigated an alleged sexual assault, eventually got dropped. But Drew, I was going to ask you, how does this not fail? What was the? This
was failure from the thought of there's no way around it. Like in the article we said, it's PR 101. It's kind of like setting somebody up for failure. You already know he has a alleged rape case, and then second of all, he has a theft from Publix with $32 worth of crap. I mean, it's a joke waiting to happen. First off, so half of Twitter, not even half, I would say like 90% of Twitter is just criticizing and just making fun of people. So I mean, I don't know whoever the PR person in Florida State thought that they would be. There's obviously going to be one or two nice questions, but it's going to read through 1,000 bashing questions.
One of my favorite, there's two amazing quotes from this article from ESPN.com. The first is from the Florida State University Sports Information Director, Elliot Feinblum. I knew there was going to be some negativity going into it. The goal of the Twitter Q&A was to continue to find ways to connect our fans and players and their support. Of course, the whole interactivity thing, we do it here on TYT Sports, but at the same time, if I won the Heisman Trophy and I also stole crab legs in the offseason, I'm pretty sure I'd come under a lot of fire.
Wear a mask. That's what I said earlier. Yeah. If you're going to steal something, wear a mask.
Right, and this didn't take place in, let's say North Carolina, or it took place in Tallahassee, where Florida State University is.
Yeah.
And you just won the national championship. You just won the Heisman. You're probably the most recognized man
besides
in
Bobby
Tallahassee.
Bowden. You're probably like the second most recognized man in
the other great quote before we get to the tweets, which are fantastic, is "This was doomed from the beginning," said Robert Stewart, director of the Ohio State University School of Journalism. "It's basically a setup. Whoever thought this was a good idea had not done PR 101, which is to think about what all could go wrong. Everything about this was naive." And he's right. So let's go to the tweets, which are really fun. I mean, hashtag Ask Jameis. All jokes aside, what's your favorite way to cook crab legs? Thanks, Thad Castle, Blue Mountain State reference right there. That's not bad. Moving on. Maybe the Tallahassee police can hop on Ask Jameis and finally question him. That's the hate comes from everywhere.
I'm telling you, it goes. I mean, it's just it's just hate and criticizing. That's what social media is.
Let's see the next one. Should Auburn implement the defensive schemes that work so well for Publix? Unbelievable. Moving on. Of all the coaches you have played for over the years, why did you steal those crab legs? See, that actually started not so bad.
No.
And then maybe they're thinking, oh, we finally found one tweet that's worth it. And no, of course not.
I mean, how could you not think? He's like, maybe I thought there's going to be a little bit of. The question is just like you said, it's a setup. Like the question is totally perfect. He's like, let's ask Jameis. I'm like, first thing I'm gonna ask him too. I'm like, what the hell were you thinking stealing crab legs? So it's kind of like they should have rethought that whole process.
The entire process. The last one, my favorite, lemon butter or garlic butter. That's perfect. Drew, lemon butter or garlic butter?
I'm actually allergic to shellfish, so neither. Put it that way, yeah. So I will swell up and you go to the hospital if I eat any type of shellfish. So I don't like either. So so you won't be catching me stealing any crab legs from Publix.
Okay, that's good. That's good. You think you can bypass their security guards though? You still got the speed?
I'm still, I'm still shifty. So, yeah. And I'm not as recognizable as Jameis Winston, so I think I'll be okay.
All right. So thanks, Drew.
Yep.
Thanks, guys. Be sure to check us out on TYTSportsOnline.com. Of course, the subscribe button is somewhere over this area, and leave a comment in the section below. All that good stuff. Thanks for tuning in.